get started with Head Coach Jim Curtin. After his opening statement, we'll go right into questions.
Yeah, thanks, Nico. Just to reflect back on Colorado, obviously a strong performance from the group. One where we're in a tricky situation where we're coming off of a big win, playing a Western Conference team. But the players' mentality, like it's been all season, was very strong. We got our goal, and from there the floodgates open. So really happy with the performance, a professional one. Happy with the goals that we're scoring. Happy with the clean sheet. The challenge now is to play an Atlanta team that's coming off of a big win on Sunday. So 1 day less rest than us. We caught the benefit of playing up a man and with a pretty good scoreline, so we didn't have to put a ton physically into the last game in terms of the output and the data that we got back from that. So the guys are all recovered and fresh and ready to go. But we expect an opponent in Atlanta that can hurt you a lot of ways. They have a ton of talent on their team. Really dangerous group, and again is fighting to get above that red line, which is always really difficult. So at home, midweek, we have to have a top performance to get points.
Thanks, Jim. Jonathan Tannewald.
Thanks, Nico. Jim, historically this team will rotate its players in the third game of a week stretch. That third game of this week's stretch is at the Red Bulls, which is obviously no small game. So
Yeah.
how do you figure it out?
Yeah, it's a big game, but our focus is Atlanta. Again, we can't look ahead. We can't get comfortable because if you do that, this league has a way of really humbling you. So, like I said, we have the physical output and data from the Colorado game. Fortunate to play up a man for a pretty good length of time. Again, the scoreboard made it not the most taxing physically, so our guys are ready to go again. But you're right. The third game is going to be one where on 2 days rest, it'll be a challenge, and we might have to make some changes there. But this one, everyone's healthy, ready to go. So we go one game at a time. But certainly, yeah, I do recognize now the compact week. The good thing is Red Bull will be on the same rest coming from Montreal with a little travel. So, yeah, tough game, certainly on the weekend, but our focus is the 3 points against Atlanta, which is going to be very difficult.
Joe Danzy.
Hey, good. Hey, Doug.
Good, how are you?
Good. You mentioned the rest there. Atlanta gets one fewer day, Red Bull same day. I know it's kind of been a complaint of yours throughout the years with this back scheduling. Is it nice to have that in your favor this week?
Yeah, it's gone against us a few times. So, yeah, certainly to have an extra day of rest helps in recovery. I think everybody knows right now all over the country it's very hot and humid, especially here in Philadelphia. So the extra day of rest and recovery is important for the guys. We'll put a group on the field that's ready to go from minute one. We might have to make subs a little earlier than we're used to, but overall the group recovered well. No issues, no injuries, no things to report on that front. So full speed ahead against Atlanta.
Matt George.
Hey Jim, as you approach this week, where do you kind of put the matchups with Joseph Martinez in your kind of reckoning? He obviously had the goal, had a big boost for them off the bench. How do you kind of place where he could be used by Gonzalo?
Yeah, look, they have it's not just Josef. The amount of attacking weapons that they have and the money that's spent in their attack is incredible. It's the highest probably in the league, and it's very dangerous. So they have a ton of individual talent that can hurt you a lot of different ways. Josef is a proven goal scorer in our league, Golden Boot winner, MVP, has won trophies. So he's a winner, and he's going to be hungry. Like I said, any team that is fighting to get above that red line is really dangerous. It's our challenge now because we're in first place to not get complacent. We still have a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of points out there on the table. So Josef certainly is an incredible player, incredible goal scorer, and sparked them, I thought, against DC United in their last game. So he's one focus that we'll have. But Arajo, Almada, Moreno, I mean, they have a whole chest of weapons that can hurt you a lot of different ways. So a lot of great attacking pieces, and we'll have to be on our A game to limit them.
Joe Danzy.
Jim, the results went your way last week. I know LAFC still got an advantage on you, but with their schedule coming up and your schedule coming up, is the Shield still focus, and how realistic do you think it is now after gaining a little bit of a gap over the weekend?
Yeah, look, we have 3 games at home. We have 3 games away. That's 18 points that's out there. We're going to go for every point. If LAFC slips up, they're an incredible team, but if they slip up, we want to be there to put pressure on them. So, yeah, that's kind of the message to the team. Get as many points as we can. We obviously want to win the East. We want to make Champions League. If it goes down to the Supporter Shield on the last day, that wouldn't be the worst thing either. So this group's ready to go, make a strong push run, and yeah, we'll see what happens with the Supporter Shield.
Jonathan Tennell.
Jim, we believe that Julian had some of his family, I think, in from Argentina this week, who we hadn't seen in a little while, and that was part of who he was pointing to, I think, up in the stands on Saturday night when he scored. You know, through the pandemic, a lot of these guys didn't necessarily get to see their friends and their families and whatnot. And I wonder for you as the manager and occasionally as the psychologist, what was that like to have to deal with some of the international guys who've had to go through that?
Really hard, especially, we had some instances where some of our players had children during that time and weren't able to get back. So again, it complicates it quite a bit. So it was a hard time for them, almost being stuck in a new city, sometimes a new country, is a real challenge. So obviously to have your family with you and support you is big. We have, 13 or 14 different countries represented in our locker room. The game of soccer speaks one language, but I think we all understand the importance of family and the comfort level you get being around loved ones. So while the union players, I still would say, are a pretty tight-knit, close family. There's nothing quite like with Julian scoring a goal in front of his mom, as an example. That's something that's really, truly special and memorable. So all those little moments were really hard during the pandemic. The things that came up, the players' sacrifice, the family sacrifice. It's great for them to be reunited and get back and forth and travel a little more free now, we'll say, which is really important. And again, these guys are just people, first and foremost. They're creatures of habit. They're used to being around loved ones, and for that to be taken away was certainly a challenge. But now you're seeing a lot of those families coming over and having interaction. And I would say it makes players play better, because when players are happy, they perform their best.
And final question, we go to Matt DeGeorge.
Jim, this will be Andre's 200th MLS start. I know you've talked many times about his value to this team, but I wonder if you could put it in the perspective of where Andre started on this team. He barely played in 2014, was injured in 2015, to now be where he is. What does that say about him and how much the team has grown around him?
Well, number one, he's, for me, the goalkeeper of the year again. I don't know how many times he's won it now, how many best 11s, but he deserves that again this year. I think he should be in the MVP discussions again. I'll reiterate that fact. But to see him go through some adversity early on in his career with injuries, with, not getting the opportunity to be a starter right away, to put his head down, keep quiet, and work hard. And now to see his rise to be the best goalkeeper that our league has been awesome to watch. I've also loved watching his leadership in the locker room, where when he speaks, everybody listens, man. And he's a big part of the culture change at this club and us getting to our winning ways. So, yeah, Andre Blake, he'll undoubtedly be, when all is said and done, I hope he plays 10 more years, but undoubtedly being up there next to Seba in that stadium, along with Ali Bedoya. But, can't say enough positive things about Andre, but to watch him grow now and improve little aspects of his game every year. If you watch him now with his feet, how well he starts our attacks and how calm he stays. He adds a layer to his game every year. He's never satisfied and has been an incredible player that I've been fortunate enough to coach and work with.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.